Let's move on to the audience section. What are audiences and how can they be used in advertising? To find this out, we must first go to the audiences section. In the audience section, we have the option to use custom audiences, saved audiences, and lookalike audiences. Let's figure out what these are and what the sub-items of these audiences are. Okay, I'm in the audience section now and I have the opportunity to create an audience. Let's deal with the first one. This is a custom audience. I click on them and what can I see here? First, I can collect an audience of visitors to my website. As I said earlier, you need to install the Facebook Pixel on your company's website. Then I can upload emails or phones of a custom audience. Why should you download phones or emails of leads? Because with that information, you can expand your audience and create a lookalike audience. I'll show you how this is done a little later. Next is the app activity. You can collect people who use your application, actively play it, and also find similar people who interact with your applications. Then there is no offline activity. If you have an offline audience, you have the opportunity to collect their information as well. Next is the ability to collect people who viewed videos on Facebook or Instagram. After that is the lead generation section, lead form. This is where I can collect people who have filled out a lead form. I can even collect people who opened a lead form but did not fill it out. Next is an ad format called Instant Experience or Host. Through the audience section, I collect people who interacted with an advertisement. Next is the shopping section. Through the shopping section, I can see who interacted with certain stores and collect those people as well. This is essentially an active audience that came in and was interested in specific products. Next, I have an Instagram account section. Here I can choose my Instagram account and collect an active audience, not just of Instagram followers, but for people who use Instagram direct messages, liked posts, and interacted with your account. This will be the most active audience. This is the audience for the events that you have on Facebook. The same is true for the Facebook page, and in this case, the ability to collect an audience on the Facebook page. That is, those who follow Facebook on their personal page, those who liked it. I can use them for advertising targets using this format. For example, find a lookalike audience again. I often speak about lookalike audiences. Okay, we are at the next stage. We will now analyze what a lookalike audience is and how to use it. There is a section called On Facebook Listings. We have the opportunity to collect people who include this section with Facebook ads. Okay, now we have dealt with you with the possibility of working with the audience. Now let's move on to creating lookalike audiences. You might be wondering, lookalike to what and lookalike to whom? In this case, I'm talking about lookalike behavior. If we have uploaded a list of phone numbers or emails, we can find people with similar behavior on Facebook. Same goes for Instagram. Click the Create Audience button, and here is a lookalike audience. Over here, we select the source of this audience. Let's talk about sources. What can be the source of a lookalike audience? It can be your Facebook followers, your Instagram followers, your website visitors, a list of phone numbers, or a list of emails. The only thing to remember is that you must have at least 100 people. When I say people, I mean 100 emails or 100 phones, after which a person can create a lookalike audience. In this case, we understand that there is already an active audience of those who have already bought something. This is especially true for e-commerce projects and online stores. By doing this, they can collect an audience of people who paid for a product on the site and then use them to find lookalike audiences who also bought and paid for something. At the bottom, you can see a slider. This slider is called percentage. Percentage allows us to track audience lookalike percentages, where 1% is the most similar, 2/3/5/10 is the maximum. That is, the more the audience, the more people respectively, but it will be less similar in behavior. In this case, I have chosen a source. I chose 1%, and it is the most similar audience I can possibly have. You can create these audiences for free. The only thing you have to do is show ads to these audiences like I showed you earlier in the lesson. To choose an audience, you first need to create it here. Okay, the last type of audience that you can have is a saved audience. A saved audience is an audience that you want to use periodically for promoting posts and websites. This is the audience that you selected according to your interests. It will be much easier for you to use this saved audience. That way, you can avoid entering in specific parameters every time. But keep in mind that interests change very often within saved audiences. You need to make sure that there are no burned out interests within your audiences.